I mean, I really think the only thing that is more intimate on a physical, mental, and emotional level than eating is sex. My name is Erin Bannister, and I'm a chef. I've been cooking for 10 years, but I've been feeding my family my whole life. I'm from New Orleans, and they're a huge part of your identity is tied to your ability to cook or your inability to cook. So at a very young age, we were in the kitchen. We were cooking stuff. And it was like an episode of Chopped every night. Like, what do we got here? We got a can of corn. We got some beef shanks. You know what I mean? It was a steep learning curve. The inspiration comes from feeding people. The conversation between a plate of food and a person is a very intimate one. And I am the facilitator of that conversation. And then it gets more complex the deeper you get into it. Can I determine the type of conversation we have with, the food that we have? Food is life. It's literally, you don't eat, you die. That's it. There was a point where I worked at a rehab facility, and these people were being rehabilitated for all sorts of things. Surgeries, some of them had heart surgeries, and especially people like Crohn's disease and things like this. Even diabetics. Their diet becomes a prescription. So their diet was essentially prescribed to them. And so what happens with nearly all of these people is that they get frustrated with the food that they're eating, and then they deviate from their diet, and they wind up being very, very sick. We had a dietitian who would essentially make this food prescription, so to speak, and there was this disconnect that shouldn't be there, right? Like, there should be no disconnect. The dietitian is a scientist of food. He should be intimately part of the conversation, but there was. The client is complaining that their food is bland. The people who were dealing with the food don't have the knowledge that the dietitian has, and the dietitian doesn't have the skill to execute it. There's a gap between the knowledge and the execution. So I decided I needed to go to school for nutrition and dietetics so that I could bridge that gap. And I think that is now my motivation. So it started with a conversation, and now it's on some take over the world. we gotta take it over. Feed the world, I guess, is really what I'm trying to do.